There now follows a party election broadcast by the UK Independence Party.
What's life going to be like for the next generation and future generations if we stay part of the United States of Europe? If you're driven mad by the petty bureaucracy and mind-numbing regulations thought up by thousands of bureaucrats in Brussels, imagine what will happen if we lose the last crumbs of our Parliament's power. Slowly and relentlessly, the UK's political independence has been stolen by stealth. The country has been asset stripped of its many cherished institutions, its industries and agriculture, its fishing grounds, its laws, traditions and democracy. But it's not too late. There is something you can do about it. Vote for the UK Independence Party.
Back in 1975, my parents both voted yes, but yes to a common market. They weren't voting for a political union, and they believed they were lied to by our three main parties. Anybody under the age of 52 has never even been given the opportunity to express an opinion on this. And yet, if you look across the continent, just recently the French and the Dutch and the Irish were all given a chance to have a referendum on the European Constitution. The young people in those countries went out and voted no. And it's high time in this country that everybody under the age of 52 was given a chance in a referendum to express their opinion.
75% of the legislation by which we now live under in Great Britain isn't even made by our own Parliament in Westminster. It's made for us by the institutions of the European Union. If every MP in Westminster chose to vote against any of that legislation, it wouldn't make any difference, because European law is superior over British law. Remember, it is the unelected EU Commission and not the European Parliament who have the sole ability to initiate or repeal legislation within Europe, and that we now have a mass of top-down, one-size-fits-all laws being imposed upon Britain by people who are unelected and are completely unaccountable to the British electorate.
We're in the depths of a recession. Our NHS trusts are struggling for money. Soldiers are poorly equipped in Afghanistan. Yet the European Union now charges us a membership fee of £40 million a day.
If you add on top of that the cost of all the regulations, it comes out that membership of this European Union is costing over £2,000 for every man, woman and child in this country.
We want to trade with the EU, not be taken over by them.
The fact is that the UK has been built on trading with the world, and that's what we should be doing now. As Brazil, China, India, many other countries flourish, we need to be opening our eyes to the fantastic possibility of what the UK can be doing as a free, independent nation. But instead, we're locked into a European Union, dreamt up by the European political elite.
Immigration is out of control, yet not one of you has been asked by the Labour, Lib Dem or Conservative parties whether you wanted this. They haven't told you that by allowing in the very poor countries from Eastern Europe, they've allowed as many millions who want to live and work in this country to do so.
Across Europe, ordinary people have concerns about crime, mass immigration and the credit crunch, but the elites in Brussels don't want to listen. The UK Independence Party supports trade, travel and friendship between all sovereign European nations. What we oppose is the centralisation of power in a small number of hands by an unelected elite in Brussels.
Whether you're young or old, regardless which party you normally vote for, I hope you agree with us that the most important question facing Britain today is whether we're to govern ourselves or to be governed by the institutions of the European Union.
I gave the Conservatives their biggest ever donation, and I want them to form the next government. Yet I hope you, like me, will vote UKIP in the Euro elections. Why? Because the people must be given a referendum on the dreadful Lisbon Treaty, which would give to the EU most of the powers which our Parliament at Westminster still has. By voting UKIP, we give a message to all the other parties that we insist in a general election on a cast iron guarantee that they will get that referendum.
Use these elections on June the 4th to send a message to our politicians. We want to know the truth. We want to debate these issues. Go out and make it UK Independence Day.
Call 0800 587 6587. Calls are free from most landlines. Some networks and mobile operators will charge for these calls.
That was a party election broadcast by the UK Independence Party.